Welcome to the Spheres of Spirit with Nancy Myers, aka the Lady of the Light. Nancy will discuss the everyday magic and wisdom of spirit which surrounds each of us, waiting to be discovered. She will share some of her remarkable orb photos, proving that our angels, guides, loved ones in spirit, and even pets surround us and guide us in our physical world. During this episode, Nancy will discuss one of the many spheres or aspects of spirit available to us based on her orb photography. She will also share a special channeled message from her guide, Leonini, and do an oracle card reading to help guide you along your personal spiritual adventure. And now, here is your host, orb photographer, author, medium, and speaker, Nancy Myers.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Spheres of Spirit once again. I'm really super excited about today's show because I have a guest, and the guest is a very special friend of mine. Her name is Mardi McCray. I'm going to tell you how we met, how spirit brought us together, but Marty has extraordinary gifts. She's a psychic, a medium, and a channel. And that's what we're going to talk about today is channeling. Most of you know what psychic abilities are. Psychic is, let's say the medium sitting in front of you and she looks at you and she said, oh, I see you have a headache or you have a shoulder or you're struggling with pain from a breakup. You know, what the medium is doing is reading you psychically, right? She's reading your energy. So mediumship is when the medium taps in to a spirit, your loved one in spirit, and connects with the spirit. And then we move into channeling. And we're going to let Marty explain that. I had one of my mentors tell me once, every medium is a psychic, but not every psychics are mediums. Every channelers are mediums, but not every mediums are channelers. So it kind of builds on, each ability builds on the other. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about why I'm so interested in channeling. If you listened to my podcast last time, it was on the dragons, I talked about where I was told that early on in my journey, in my spiritual adventure, that I was a channel. And, you know, I was barely thinking I was an orb photographer at that point. And, you know, it took me a long time to develop that and to contact Leonini and to be able to channel. And when I was, maybe it was 3 or 4 years after my son's passing, Robbie. And Robbie, again, is the whole reason I'm on this spiritual path is because he asked me to. He passed 2 days before his 28th birthday, and he's been very present and very much a part of this journey. He's directing me. It's kind of funny. Our roles have reversed. But anyway, so I found this book, and it's, you know, when you're on a journey and you ask the universe to bring you things to help you, you know, things just fall into your lap. And this book fell into my lap. And the book was called Channeling Eric. And it was about a young man who had passed, and it was written by his mom, who was a doctor, Dr. Alyssa Medhus. And he reached out, he being her son, Eric, reached out to a medium and asked the medium to reach his mom. Well, it says in the book that she was an atheist. She didn't believe in the afterlife. But anyway, the book is all about how it unfolded and how he reached out and all about channeling. The mediums were able to channel. So I would tell Robbie, you know, hey, you know, why don't you do this? You know, and just kind of laughed and chuckled. It's like, okay, that's beyond me. So remember that. So at this point, I would like you to welcome my friend, Mardi McCray, and we're going to talk about how spirit moved even years in advance to help us on our journey. And here's my friend, Marty. Hi, Marty. How are you today?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm really excited that you're here. Thank you so much for giving us your time and for
Mhm.
agreeing to be on the show.
Me too.
I was just telling everybody in the beginning the difference between mediumship and psychic ability, and then we move into channeling. But first, I want to go back and I want to find out for the audience. I want them to learn a little bit more about you. So I know for a fact that Marty has extraordinary gifts and she's a very talented medium and channeler. But Marty, when was your first memory, or what is your first memory of contacting the other side? Or was it more like they contacted you?
Both. Always a back and forth conversation my whole life. And I think I had an experience early on when I was a very little girl. I was 3, and I was hiding behind the couch in my living room, and there was a man sitting next to me who was sort of semi-transparent, and the long hair and the beard and white robe, and he went shh, and it just caught my attention so dramatically. And it was Jesus.
Wow.
And I was 3, so did I have any way of knowing that? No. I just thought, who's that guy behind my couch? And listen, it was a time that I really was having a hard time, and
Mm-hmm.
I was a scared little kid, and
How did you learn it was Jesus? What happened?
I went to Sunday school, and 2 years later, I was 5, and I saw his picture on the wall, and I went, "Hey, who's that guy?" And my teacher told me, "Oh, well, that's Jesus." And I thought, all right, okay, interesting. I mean, I couldn't make sense of it. I was little.
Yeah.
And, I'll tell you what, I had so many wacky experiences similar to that, seeing people, hearing, feeling spirit. When I would go to sleep at night, there would be people, humans, semi-transparent humans, walking
Wow.
around my room,
Wow.
whispering in my ear. So that's a lifelong, until I got to be an adult and said, I don't want that anymore. Please stop. Um,
Did that
uh,
did that frighten you, Marty? Or were
yeah,
the
I was
spirits?
terrified.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if they were coming in loving and trying to talk, or maybe
I
you just
think
weren't ready
so.
to receive. Yeah.
It's just that I asked my parents, what is that? What are the people walking around the room at night? I don't think I explained it well because, parents, the 1970s,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah. Don't
very
talk
hands,
about your imaginary friends.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it
Yeah.
was, oh, those are probably just bad dreams.
Mm.
And so I thought, okay, all right. I mean, I'll buy that. And then I start talking to other people, and they're like, no, I don't have dreams like that. And so I
Yeah.
started realizing, okay, something's really different here about me and my experiences. I'm not really going to tell people anymore. I had a friend, my next door neighbor. He passed. He was a very good friend of mine. He
Mhm.
was 13, and he passed when I was 10. And he and his sister was my best friend at the time. And he passed away. He had an accidental drowning death, and it was shocking and terrible. And it was the first really, really close person to me who passed.
Sure.
And
First time experiencing death. Yep.
yes, and he came right to me when I was 10, and also to her. And
How
we
did that make
compared.
you feel when you saw him? What was your reaction?
I was happy. I was glad. I felt it was a dream. I just thought it was a dream.
Uh-huh.
But it was like a lucid dream. I was awake in the dream, and we were talking, and
Ah.
he said, "Tell my mom and dad I'm okay. Tell Linda I'm
Oh.
fine." And okay. And then we compared notes, and she said, yeah, he came to her the same night and said
Wow.
the same things. And
Wow.
so we both just sort of went, huh. I mean, we just didn't know about any of this. And so you would just I have a lifetime full of odd experiences where I didn't quite understand it, and I just went, okay, well, I'm going to mental note, put that to the side.
Sure.
And then when I'm older, hopefully I'll figure this out one day and surprise. Yeah.
So do you think, Marty, that you blocked it? I mean, was there a period where nothing happened and then
No.
finally, no, that never happened. It was always with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't block anything.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I've had a lifetime of experiences. I just stopped. I just didn't, kind of from 5th grade on, I didn't tell anyone,
Sure.
except, maybe my close boyfriend, or my best friend. But other than that, no, because people think you're nuts. And at that time.
Right. When did you decide then to say, you know what, this is what I was made for? I'm going to embrace this and come out of the spiritual closet, if you will. What motivated you to do that?
2 things. When my son was born, he was 2, and he started having a lot of paranormal experiences. And I trusted that. And he was having the same type of experiences that I had had my whole life. And I went, oh, okay, so that's real. So because I need to do something about it. I need to teach him. How can I make my son feel safe and trust the other side, trust whatever this is, if I don't myself? And
Right.
so he was my catalyst when he was born. 2 years old, I started educating myself big time about, I guess I better take this seriously. But I still didn't come out of the closet as a medium until I was 50. And I'm 58 now.
But I applaud you for doing that, because we know growing up what it was like not having parents that believed us and trusted us. So you decided you weren't going to be that parent for your child, right?
Yeah. And to be fair, I don't think my parents even got what I was going through because I just gave up on telling them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I told them once or twice and thought, these are bad dreams. Okay. And then, when you find out from others, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's something more. It's something more, because the things that I would hear, see, feel often came true. I had a ton of precognitive dreams. My dreams would happen in real life, future events. Yeah.
Every time I do a show, I of course try to tie in the orbs, and I picked 3 here. That what I do is when I see a really cool orb, I'll sit with it and wait for just the right quote. So I want to bring up the first meme that I made. And what it says is, I didn't change, I just woke up. And not that one yet, Chris. And that's kind of what happened, I think, to me. Marty, thank you, Chris, so much. Marty believed in it and always had it with her. With me, I started going to workshop after workshop after workshop and finding out about it. And that is kind of how we met. So I want to talk about a little bit that. We were up in Washington, right? Seaback, Washington. And we were at a week long, I think it was, a mediumship workshop. We had to pair up with somebody. And I had, I talk about, and we're going to talk about soul family more in future episodes. But have you ever had that feeling when you meet somebody new and you go, God, I feel like I've known this person before? It's more of a, like I say, more of a memory, a recognition than meeting somebody. Well, I had that with Marty. So I go, hey, would you be my partner? And it was shortly after, Marty, that you decided you were going to do this work, right? And so that's why you were at this workshop?
Exactly. Same here. I decided when I was 50, my husband had been telling me, why don't you do something professionally? Because you're amazing. And I thought, okay, that's what husbands say. but it is my passion and my calling. And And so I started going, Allison Gannon's workshops. I went to everything she ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mavis Patilla, that's where I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Mavis is the grande dame of British mediumship, and she's amazing and wonderful. And
A legend. Yeah.
Yes. And I loved her teaching. And so that was way back when I was,
7 or
again, I
8
turned
years
50.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 years ago.
So Marty and I kind of struck up a friendship. And Marty had told me at that workshop that she was going to start her business. And I said, hey, I'll be a guinea pig. You know, I've told you before, I'm a mediumship junkie. So I booked a reading with Marty. But before I tell you about that, well, no, maybe I won't. So I booked a reading, and of course, Robbie was there front and center. Do you remember that reading, Marty?
Kind of. I mean, yeah.
Do you remember what you told me the first? Because Marty can see the spirits that she's talking to in her mind's eye.
Yep.
And she went, hey, I know you, when she saw Robbie. Why did you say that to Robbie?
I met him before. I met him years before, like 2 years earlier, in a dream, a very lucid dream. But this is so evidential. And it can be validated. My mom was in a hotel room with me, and it was, 2015. It was around February or January of 2015. And we were in this hotel room. You know, I was dead asleep. And the dream that I had was I meet this young man. We're in a lagoon together. And my guide was there, my guide, Diana, who has, by the way, been my lifelong guide.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, oh, I know Diana. You know, she often comes to me in dreams. But I don't know this guy. Who's this guy? He's cute. He's so handsome.
On a surfboard.
On a surfboard in the lagoon.
Yeah.
And I don't surf. And so I was next to him going, oh, hey, what's up? Why are you here with my guide? And he goes, that's my guide. And I went, nah, if this is my guide. And so we were just back and forth, instantly talking and teasing each other. And I thought, oh, I just love him. He's so sweet. He's so funny. And he's like, we just started talking. And then she starts talking with us. And I don't know what was being said. It was just a lot. And we both were like, okay, yeah, okay. She was telling us of a future assignment. You know, do you agree to this? Do you agree to that? Do you agree? All this agreements.
Wow.
And our ancestors, by the way, how did I know this? I don't know. It was a dream. But all of our ancestors were on the shore.
Huh.
And I knew they were mine because I know mine.
Uh-huh.
But I'm like, oh, those must be his. There's a lot of people here I maybe am not familiar with. But I felt like they were ours.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something about that too. So at any rate, we're getting this download from our guide, Diana, and just standing in the lagoon with this angel, giant gold wings, you know.
Yep.
And then my mom, I wake up, my mom was shaking me awake going, Marty, you left your body. And I said, what? How do you know? And she goes, because you weren't here. I've been trying to wake you up for 10 minutes. And she said, all you were doing was saying, yes, 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 over and over. And I go, no, you wrecked it, Mom. I was just having this amazing dream and I met this young man and we were agreeing to, now I don't know what.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I figured I'll be shown. You trust. Yep. This is where trust comes in. Because I've had all these precognitive dreams. I thought, well, maybe someday I'll be shown what was that dream about.
Yeah.
And then I do the reading for you and I'm like, hey, this young man I'm bringing through looks like that guy in the lagoon the dream.
Yep.
I'm like, that's weird.
Yep.
No, it's not. And I said, can you send me a picture of Robbie? Could you send me a picture? And you did. Yes. There you go. Oh, good. You had the picture ready. That's that boy. That's
Robbie was a surfer and that was his favorite cove or lagoon. And and Marty recognized that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I had his memorial there. Yeah. But so after we met and we did the that reading, and Marty goes, I know your son. I know your son. Well, I had gotten a reading. I get a reading from this one medium every year. And she said to me, she said, Robbie's telling me that, that YouTube that you're watching. And I said, yeah. She said, who's Eric? Eric. And I go, oh, I'm watching his videos, the medium channels this woman's son, and they have it on YouTube. And she said, yeah, he said he wants to do that. And I said, I don't think so. I'm not going to do that. She said, oh no, he's going to do that. Well, he wouldn't stop bugging me. So I said, Robbie, who do you want to do this? And he showed me Marty. So Marty, she was just getting her career going. So I called her and I go, Marty, and I explained to her what Robbie had said. Right. Yep. And what did I ask you?
That I would be the one to channel. Do you know how to channel? I'm like, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
She wasn't doing.
I was just doing private readings at that time.
Right.
But listen, my son came home from college just a few years before, and he said he was learning how to channel. Mm-hmm. He's a psychic and a medium himself, and my son. And he said, Mom, you could channel. If I could channel, you could channel. I'm like, what? It can't be that easy. And he goes, yeah, it is. This is how my son explained it. Just set your consciousness to the left side of your brain and then just see who comes in.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's pretty casual. So I did. I tried it with him. It worked. We had success. And so I thought, well, yeah, I do know how to channel, but how do I guarantee, oh yeah, Rob's going to come through me and he'll speak through me. And I just didn't know, how do you facilitate that? Not even understanding at that time, we don't have to facilitate anything. We just set the intention that, okay, at this time and date, we're going to have a meeting. He'll show up if he wants to come through me.
Yep.
And then, I close my eyes, I go into trance, and I meet him. And I do meet him as if I'm meeting someone here. I've got my eyes closed. I'm in trance. We're speaking in trance. And, speaking in my head, mind to mind.
Uh-huh.
But I hear him physically. He's got the cutest voice. And we always, hug and say, what's up? And we talk and high five. And, I'm doing all this in my head.
It was really quite incredible, because Marty, and I give her all the credit in the world, when I asked her, she just went, okay. So we did what, about 20 YouTubes where Robbie came in and Marty channeled him. She captured his personality. And it's called Entering the Light, Fantastic Messages from Beyond the Veil, 1 through 20. But, here's Marty. She was so trusting and said, okay, well, it's been explained to me. Okay, let's do it. And I think it was a learning experience, well, for both of us, obviously, but it really prepared you. So what I heard you say, one of the big differences when I do mediumship, I'm not in trance. I'm very aware. So you said to channel, you're kind of what they call trans channel, right?
Oh yeah.
So do you remember what you say?
No. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I get the flavor of things. No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I never have watched our videos because...
No, she won't watch them.
The only thing I knew was, let me go study, make sure I'm doing this properly, make sure I'm following the proper technique. And there really is only one great, in my view, the greatest book on channeling is that, what's her name? Jane Roberts?
Oh, yes.
Steph.
Yes.
And so she talks about the most important thing is to have a pure heart and to be a clear channel. That means, no drinking, no smoking. I don't drink or smoke, never have. Well, college, that's an exception. But no drinking, no smoking, eat well, take good care of your vessel, and keep it clean and pure. Keep your heart clean and pure.
Yeah.
Because if you're a clear vessel, then spirit can come through much more easily. And I'll tell you, when I do mediumship, connecting with, deceased loved ones on the other side, it's very mental mediumship is just, you kind of see them in your head, and but you are raising your vibration, and you feel it in your solar plexus chakra. You feel it right there. It feels like butterflies.
Mm.
Mavis taught us that if you don't have a connection, you need to feel it in your chakras, and they come through your root, through your sacral, and touch your heart. So root, sacral, and heart are super important for mental mediumship, but also for channeling. But no, it's different. Channeling, I feel it in the back of my head, the right crown, back of my head.
Okay.
Tingles.
Uh-huh.
And it's been tingling. I didn't even know that I'd forgotten, let's put it that way, that you had said, "Oh, and we'll set the intention for Archangel Michael to come in." I saw that on the link. I'm like, what? Okay, well.
We will see if anybody's here. Marty will let us know. But Marty, I want to go back to the difference here. You said you set your consciousness aside. We'll answer this question, then take a quick break. And Marty will try and channel. But you said you set your consciousness aside.
Yeah.
That's like somebody telling me, "Oh, raise your vibration." Well, I don't have a knob. How do I do that? How do you do that in your mind? How do you know that you're setting your consciousness aside? What happens?
You could feel it. When I'm with your son, for example, when he first comes in and I connect with him, it's regular old mediumship. I'm seeing him like I would any other spirit on the other side, and we're talking in our head. But then when he wants to come into me, it's not so much that. He's not inhabiting my body. In the beginning, I really thought that that's what he had to do.
Right. And that was a fear. Right.
And it was weird. And he's like, "I don't want to do that. I don't like your body." I'm like, I know, right? I mean, because I'm a 58-year-old lady and he's still a young man. It's just weird.
Yeah.
And that's not what it is. It's not at all. You don't have to do all that fancy stuff. It's just, I just visualize. I'm a great visualizer. I visualize my consciousness. Marty, I'm going to go sit over there. And I'll sit down in wherever we are, because I've imagined this into being. But what's crazy about that is the more you trust your imagination, you trust what you're being shown, the more real it gets.
Yeah.
And so for channeling, I'll see where we are, in my mind's eye. I'm in trance. My eyes are closed, and I'm moving over, and I'm sitting down over here. And then Robbie is talking to you. And that's how I see it.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I'd be sitting over here, and I'd try to make sure Marty's attention is not on what's being said. Keep my own consciousness out of it. Let him speak through me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go over here and talk to some other people.
So you're literally a participant watching Robbie talk, but what we see is you talking and Robbie talking through you. Fascinating.
That's right. That's
fascinating.
Right.
Okay, well, we have to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to show you another orb, and then we will ask Marty to try and channel and see if there's a message from the highest good for all of us. So we'll be right back.
OMTimes TV. Imagine becoming a super influencer. Reinvent yourself, invest in your brand, and then manifest your success with a robust spheric approach. OMTimes Media and Broadcasting offers a unique and multifaceted way to become the spiritual and conscious influencer you deserve to be by putting your message across our powerful platform with its proven record of integrity and excellence. Through our produced shows, OMTimes offers the opportunity to become a social media TV personality, a radio show host, an OMTimes magazine columnist, and a syndicated podcaster, all in one shot. By live streaming your show on OMTimes TV and broadcasting it across the extensive OMTimes radio and TV networks, you become more than a host. You become an ambassador and a force for positive change. OMTimes. Open yourself to the possibilities.
I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Not anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
We discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure,
Pure love.
love.
Okay, welcome back. I'm going to show you the next picture because this is so important. You know, you heard Marty talk about how she discovered and how she went with it and trusted it. And this is one of my orbs I call the crown jewels because it looks faceted. But Mary Dunbar, this is her quote. She says, "It is our privilege and our adventure to discover our own special light." So we discover our own talents, our own gifts, if we trust and we do this. And thank you very much, Chris. And that's what I applaud Marty doing, is that she trusted. I asked her, will you channel? Not only had she not done it publicly, I was going to videotape her and put it out there for the world to see. And she did it. So, for that, I'm eternally grateful, but it's been such a gift. So now, Marty, before you channel, do you have a sense of who you're going to channel, or has anybody come to you this morning or this afternoon? Where are we with that? How do you do it?
With mediumship, before I take about 15 minutes before I do a private reading, and I just sit and ask. I literally ask Spirit, who would like to come in for this person today?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to speak to their loved one so-and-so today? And I did that no differently. Same thing. Who would like to come through today with a message? Because I was a little panicked when I saw, Archangel Michael's going to be there. He is he? So
that's why I said the intent. Gives you an out.
Hey, no, seriously, I trust you. And we didn't talk about this, but I don't want to screw up the time. One of the evidential things for both you and I doing that work with Robbie would be that Nancy would write down her questions in advance.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea what was coming up. And so we'd be sort of chit-chatting maybe beforehand, and I'd say, Robbie's coming in today, and I feel like he's going to talk about X, Y, or Z. And you just would be like, oh, interesting. And then I'd channel him and he'd talk. And then afterwards you go, okay, look at this. And you'd hold up the tablet with all your questions. Did they all get answered by Robbie when you were in trance? Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So that today I trusted Nancy. She said Archangel Michael's coming. So, okay, let's see if he does. And sure enough, 5 minutes ago before, we started, I just said, do you want to come in? Do you have a message? And he said, of course I do.
Oh,
why
awesome.
do you not trust this?
Okay.
Because I'm human. It's still,
Yeah.
I'm just like the rest of you.
Still quite amazing, right? It's still quite
Right?
amazing. Okay,
It's
so
just-
I want to
yeah.
give you a little space and take your time. I tell people, if you watch our videos where we channeled Robbie, I tell people sometimes it takes 2 to 3 minutes for Marty to connect. So it's going to be quiet. So please bear with us for just 2 or 3 minutes. Sometimes it's faster. And then I won't speak. If Robbie's there, I can ask him questions. But if it's Archangel Michael, I just listen. So let's see what he has to say. Are you ready, Marty?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Go for it, girlfriend.
So I'll close my eyes and I will go into trance, and not super deep, somewhat like a medium trance.
Okay.
Not light, not deep. I will say that the way I go into trance, I can still talk to you. I do a bit of self-hypnosis, visualizing myself going down a set of stairs to a different level or going up wherever they want me to meet them. And yes, of course, Rob's here. Robbie said he wouldn't miss it. And now I'm seeing him. You're a beautiful boy.
Hi, son.
I love him. He's a good person.
Me too.
He's like, okay. But no, he's not going to come through me. I just see him and I want you to know he's there.
All right.
Yeah, he might have something to say that I'll tell after.
Okay.
I say good day to you today. This is Michael. I do have a message for humanity. These are very sad times for many in the United States of America. The shootings, the mass shootings have indeed brought the world's attention once again to your country. These things are always heartbreaking, shocking, unfortunately, not unexpected. At this point, this is a key turning point for your country and for humanity. You must understand your country is a leader in the world and must act as such. There is no longer time to refuse such a role. You must lead the way and show what humanity is capable of. You are capable of conquering the demons of violence. I say demons in a symbolic way. We all have our own issues, our own mental health struggles. There are some of us that need help more than others at different times, but all of us need help at some point in our life. Have compassion, have charity, have thoughtfulness for your fellow man. Do not judge. This is a lecture I'm giving to you today. I want to instill and instill confidence in yourselves. You are in this position as a country. You can bring yourselves out of this. Help and healing is always available, especially from us here on the other side. Should you require it, all you need to do is ask. This is what we give to you, our unending support and charity and compassion. To be human is to make mistakes over and over. You must learn from them. This is why you're here. This is what you're tasked with. Learn from your mistakes, move on in faith and trust. Faith in yourselves and your own decision-making skills. Trust in the other side that we are here for you to support you and give you energy and sustenance in your time of need. If you run out of energy, we're here for you. We're here to back you up. When you think you can't go on, you can, you will. Just ask us to help. This is the biggest message I need to give to you today is hope. And the hope is for yourselves. Have hope in yourself. In yourselves. Have hope in yourselves. you do make good decisions. Trust your heart. When you doubt, go deep into your heart center and feel. All the answers you seek are within your heart. This may sound as a cliche to some. It's been spoken of enough. But do you really take it in? Do you really follow through and move your physical energy into your heart chakra? No, I think not. I think many like to talk about these things and not follow through all the way, not truly believe. Believe that you are capable of so much more. Believe that you are capable of healing this earth. Each and every one of you has it inside of you. Just ask us for help as well. You will prevail. Humanity prevails. It is a test. You are being tested. However, our source would not test you only for the sake of testing. This test is for you to learn how to overcome. This is a challenge. So perhaps the better word is challenge. This challenge is given to you to overcome. You will overcome. Please ask for our help. This is as simply as I can put this today. This is as simply as I can make this message appeal and appear to you. Feel it in your heart. You are powerful. The human heart is capable of everything. Everything. And with Source or with God, everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. This is my message today. I mean to inspire and give hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. We have to give Marty a minute to find her feet. She goes pretty high when she deals with the angelic realm. You back on Earth?
Yep.
That was strong message. I don't want to say powerful. It was strong.
I
But you know,
feel it.
yeah. I don't know how much of it that you remember, but you know, over and over and over again, we hear when we have messages from the other side, it's we're stronger than we think. We're going to prevail. We can affect change. You know, be hopeful. Be truthful. Love one another. You know, it's pretty much. I don't want to say a broken record, but you know, a message that comes up again and again and again, and it's almost the same message for any situation.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you. Where were you with Michael? Were you?
I go to, he has an office, believe it or not. He has an office. This is how I see it. So he's in his angelic office.
Oh, okay.
Where he
Okay.
sees clients. And, you know, is that true? I don't know, but that's where I see him.
Sure.
And it's just, I'm imagining myself going into his office and it's amongst the stars. And he does look out with the most beautiful view. And I just sit and watch the view.
Wow.
And he sits at his desk. He has a desk.
That's
He also has a
amazing.
lounge chair. And I'll sit in the lounge chair and look at the stars while he speaks.
Wow.
We've got that routine now.
Wow. So did Robbie add anything after?
Robbie just said he's so thrilled. He's so humbled to be part of this. He's so humbled that you trusted so much and have been willing to ask more questions, keep going. You know, Nancy and I call it following the popcorn trail. It's perfect. That's exactly what it feels like, because I don't know what's going, like I told you guys, I don't know. I didn't even know Michael was going to be here until I saw it on the thing and went, oh, well, I hope he comes. and so I just go to his office and knock on the door and ask to come in. And of course.
Wow.
And that's what I'm visualizing. And listen, if there's anyone watching this who doubt, I used to watch channels, and that's what made me hesitate to channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, oh my God. I mean,
well, there's no proof. There's no proof. When you do
proof.
mediumship, you can bring in evidence, but when you
Yes.
channel, there's no proof. Yeah.
Except to me.
Right.
Except to me, because I've channeled your son over and over and over. And that's what I was trying to say in my little go live I did the other day. It's the more out there you trust to go,
Mm-hmm.
The more you think, okay, this is really weird, but I'm just going to say it. That turns out to be the most amazing evidence of, did you know this?
Yeah.
No, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Well,
Robbie's come into my meditation, and I've said this on past shows. He said to me, Mom, the more you believe, the more you'll believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing. We can look very woo-woo to people who are not experienced with this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, sure, that's Archangel Michael.
Right.
Sure, you're channeling him. And to me, the only proof is that, well, I don't remember much of what is said. I remember some things, like I know he was trying to be inspiring. I could feel it. And the other thing is, I've done it so much now that I trust it. I trust it. Yeah. And I've had so much proven to me as being evidence and true that I trust this now.
Yeah. I think trust, when you do this work, is the maybe the foundation or linchpin of everything. If you don't have trust that these things are real, or that Spirit's going to show us more and more, because Marty and I have both been told we're only scratching the surface. There's so much more that they want to show us, but we can't limit them or limit ourselves.
That's right. Amen.
Yeah.
No self-limits.
Yeah.
And that is so difficult. I mean, I'm still guilty.
Sure, we all are.
My first thought is always, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? Yeah. And then I have to just go, zip it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Trust it. Go, because it's going to be great.
I wanted to tell everybody, we forgot to mention this. I told you that I felt like I've known Marty for a very long time. Obviously, we're in the same soul family, but she is literally our ancestors, or my husband's ancestors are also her ancestors.
Oh yeah. I mean, not very far back.
No.
It's my great grandmother. It's
great, I think.
Two greats.
Yeah.
Two greats grandmother was a Myers.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to the common ancestor in Little Conshohocken, or
I don't know, somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Exactly. But it's Robbie and I are cousins.
Yes.
And that's what
you can't make this up. You can't make this up. So I wanted to let everybody know Marty does amazing mediumship readings. She can do past life regressions. She can do what's called soul readings, where she'll help you with learn your guides and your angels, or the people that you need to know to work with. You can reach Marty. Marty, the best place is MartyMcCray.com, correct?
Yep.
And you can make an appointment right on line there, which I highly recommend. I have to wrap it up. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank, of course, my son, but especially Archangel Michael for that wonderful, amazing message. So I'm going to let Marty go. Marty, thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
Okay, see ya. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, so wow. I sit in a channel group every Wednesday, and I want to tell everybody who's writing me messages, thank you so much for being here. I see your messages. I'm very grateful that you're with us on this show. I sit in a channel group every Wednesday, and Marty's one of the participants. And when we sit with the intent to channel, we never know who's coming in. But all of a sudden, we will channel somebody, let's say, we've never heard of before. And then we go to research, and yes, this was a real person. This is what they did. This is where they lived. And so that's the evidence for us. So I know it's real. Of course, I channel my guide, Leonini, but it's just another fascinating aspect of the spheres of spirit, right? So I wanted to do a card reading really quick. And because, could I bring up that last slide, please? And this one, you can see the orb in the bottom center, and it's a quote from Walt Disney, and it says, "It's quite fun to do the impossible." And there's really no impossibles. It's only impossible until it's done, and then it becomes possible. So I think when you deal with this with spirit, and if you have that attitude that this is going to be fun, I may be the first one to ever do it, but it's going to be fun. So that's one of the things that Robbie has told me is do this with joy in your heart. So thank you, Chris. So the deck that I chose for today, it's my Life Changes. It's butterfly, of course, for transformation. So let me see if I can get a quick message here for you. I'm going to shuffle. And I sat with Leonini earlier, and I have a message for the group also, for all my listeners. So let me see what card they want me to pull here for Life Changes. And I'll make this quick. I'm watching the time. Okay, here we go. So, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I do not stack these cards. I mean, I shuffle them and I pull the card live during the show. The one I got, I hope you can see that, it says Heavenly Signs. And it's a blue butterfly on like dandelions. And, and that's what we dealt with today was heavenly signs. But I think what Spirit wants me to tell you with this card is this isn't limited to me or to Marty or to the mediums you see on TV. It's for everybody. All you have to do is open your eyes. Look at the magic that's around us. And yes, and the animals, the birds, the butterflies, the feelings, the coins, the feathers, yes, those are all signs. You each can get a sign. So with that being said, I want to read Leonini's message. So I tell you, when I channel Leonini, the first thing she does is show me an image. And she showed me an image of a rooster crowing at sunrise. And this is what she said. The rooster knows instinctively when to crow. It is not taught this. This knowing comes from somewhere within the rooster himself. He is born with that knowledge and ability. When the rooster crows, he signifies that it is time to wake up. Wake up! Wake up can mean arouse from sleep, or it can mean wake up and notice what is around you, those heavenly signs that you haven't seen or noticed before. In a sense, you have your own inner rooster, your own inner knowing that is indeed the time to wake up. Open your eyes, all of your eyes, and look around. When you can truly see, you will have a new perspective and a new understanding of the connections and love that surrounds each and every one of you. It is a new dawn. So I want to thank you for joining me. Next week, I'm going to show you some pretty amazing orbs of some of the celebrities and famous people and people from long ago past. And I'll tell you the stories that go along with each one of those photos. I want to thank you again for joining me. I hope you found this beneficial. Take time. Bye-bye.